I hope you guys have all had a great week so far. So I'm really grateful to have all of you joining us tonight. So we are going to be discussing the central bank digital currency, if it's coming, what that will look like, and what we can do to be prepared. So I do have 3 guests with me tonight, or at least, oh, there's Mike. I'm going to go ahead and add him on here. Hello, Mike.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
Great. So I have 3 guests joining me tonight. I have Jason with the Angry Prepper. I have Autumn from Autumn's Backyard Garden. And I have Mike from Hudson Valley Prepping and Survival. So I'm going to have them go ahead and introduce themselves in just a moment. But first, I wanted to go ahead and just greet some of you guys in chat. So I do see Lee is in here. Thank you so much for coming in, Lee, and for modding. Hello, Nate. Thank you for modding. I see you in here. Good to see you, Lori's Thrifty Kitchen. Hoosier Prepping Nurse, hello. Vancity Prepper, awesome to see you, and thank you for being here and helping mod. I see Penny Pitching Prepper. Who else do we have in here? Hill Country Prepper. There's quite a few, you guys. Hi, Uncle Al. And Coffee First, Then Speak. All right, awesome to see all of you guys. So, Autumn, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your channel?
All right. Hi, guys. I'm ABG, as everyone refers to me as. My channel is about prepping, current events, gardening, a little bit of everything, really.
Awesome. Jason, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your channel for those that may not know who you are? I know most people are familiar with you.
Angry Prepper. I guess I don't know. We talk about prepping current events, same as Autumn Backyard Garden, and gear review and shit like that. I guess.
Awesome.
I don't
know. Great, Mike. You want to go ahead?
I'm basically Angry Prepper's smaller, up north, lighter skin guy. We all do the same things here. Just trying to keep people abreast of what's going on and some of the pitfalls we might face if things go south. So.
Exactly. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. So if you guys aren't subscribed to any of these channels, I would really encourage you guys to go ahead and do so. They're really a wealth of information, and they really go ahead and get out that critical, important stuff to all of us. And they're really good about helping the community to be prepared for anything that is coming our way. So I did want to go ahead and issue fair warning tonight that there may be some language used in tonight's live. So if that isn't something that you guys are comfortable with, then you may want to go ahead and tune out for this one. I don't censor my guests, and I appreciate that we are all adults here. So I am going to open this up for some Q&A towards the end of the live. And when I do so, if you guys would go ahead and put your questions for us in all caps so I can see them, that would be greatly appreciated. So with all of that said, my first question for the panel is, what is your definition of a central bank digital currency?
Autumn Backyard Garden, you should go ahead.
Oh, gee, thanks. Well, CBDC is digital currency. We are going to be losing the, paper money or coins, change that we have. And it's all going to be digital, kind of like Bitcoin, but it's not going to be called Bitcoin. Right. We're going to be changing over to what's called UBI, or Universal Basic Income. And that's it. You're not going to be having that physical money anymore. It's all going to be digital. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's
excellent. Did you guys have anything you wanted to add to that? Or I feel like that was a pretty good definition.
Yeah. No, nailed it.
Yeah. Good job, Autumn. You go.
Well, thank you. I learned from the best. She's a retired international banker. Her name is Trish. Everybody knows her.
Awesome. Okay, so my next question for you guys is, do you think that the central bank digital currencies are coming soon?
Oh, yeah. They're already here.
Yeah. I know that United Kingdom, Brazil, Canada, Germany, Italy, at the very least, Italy was talking about this year. The other countries, Austria as well, they're talking about next year. The United States, we moved up our timeline from 5 years to next year, which I find interesting that everybody is going online pretty much the same time. So that should raise some alarms if everybody's trying. If all of the rich countries or powerhouse countries are doing this at the same time, there seems to be an issue. Now, China, they have something loosely that's in play
Pilot
right now,
program.
right? But it's supposed to go into full effect next year. The only country that I'm surprised is not in it for now is Russia.
Yes.
And Russia was working on it, but they haven't announced anything yet. So I don't know what their plan is.
Unless they're just playing their cards close to their chest right now with everything that's going on, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Nerve-wracking to expand right now with the climate, especially over there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a lot of infrastructure that goes into this stuff. You know, we're still based in the old banking system, and they've really got to establish all of these. They're like, essentially it links all of the banks together, so all transactions are instantaneous.
Right.
You know, it used to take a week or 2 weeks or 6 months to close on a house. Now they can just click a button and it's done with the CBDC. So I still think that a lot of the banks and things have to get up to speed with I guess the programming and the software, maybe even the computer systems that's required to run this stuff. So
Yeah.
I think they have the best of intentions of rolling this out as quick as possible, but I think we're going to see some hiccups along the way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I think we're all hoping that we will see some hiccups along the way, right? For the most part. Did
Well,
you
I
guys
think
go ahead?
I was going to say, I think that the big, not problem, the big issue, not even issue, sorry, the big thing is for us not to take part of it. That's it,
Mhm.
right? Because they're going to coerce us to try to do it. But like Mike was talking about, like the banks are still trying to figure this out. I think the only way to even have banks do this is if you have something catastrophic happen. Because I can't see these big guys like the Chase and Citibank and all the other bigger banks around the world going, you know what? That's a good idea. We're going to let the government run finances.
Right.
I can't see them letting that go. I can't see hedge fund companies going, yeah, guys, we're all in. It just
Yeah.
doesn't make
Relinquishes
any
a lot of power from them.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, and not even just power from them. I almost wonder if, in a way, if they got this thing going, if they would even need them. I mean, that's the question I have, because they're talking about making this thing as far as the Federal Reserve just creating individual accounts, you know? So apparently they can't do that right now under the Federal Reserve Act the way it is. And they would have to go ahead and get that legislation through, which, you know, we're all praying that that won't happen. But you know, that is a concern of mine as well.
Yeah. I don't see that. If they have to, again, if they have to go to legislation for it, I don't see it happening soon. I mean,
Mhm.
listen, they could say what they want. They could be like, oh, we're going to, open the doors to this and then see where it goes. I don't see people going, yeah, that's what I want. The federal government, who, by the way, the left and the right are losing trust with, I can't
Mhm.
see them opening up their bank accounts with the government.
Yeah, I pray that so. So is there anything that you could see taking place that would sort of slow this process down?
I think global conflict would slow it down for sure.
Yeah.
If everybody's spending all their money on bombs and bullets, it's going to be tough to invest in that infrastructure that they need.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's going to take a little longer than we think it is. I think in the next maybe 3 years, but I think it's going to take him at least a year or a year and a half to get that infrastructure in place. But like Jason said, a big thunderclap, and all of a sudden they can usher it in real quick, right?
Right. Did you guys have anything to add to that?
No, I think he's right. I think, a world conflict like a World War III
Mm-hmm.
would definitely do it.
I'm going a little bigger, like something cataclysmic, something that wipes out not most of humanity, but a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
And the surviving people who are left are like, you guys want to have an easier go at it? you're going to have to join this society, and this society is going to have digital banking system, some kind of tracking system to track wherever you go. I mean, listen, we've seen it in movies, and one movie in particular, which was really good, called Equilibrium.
That was great.
Right, Christian Bale. That was a system that, when you listen to the reason why, you're like, holy shit, we're here now. We're here at this system where our anger, our feelings, our emotions are getting a lot of us in trouble, right? So to have us join a society where everybody's on the same level, it's even worse on the socialist society because everyone's on the same level. And then your emotions are in check. I mean, like, listen, it was a movie, but when you watch the movie, they go over the history of why they ended up there. It's exactly where we are right now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Great
Scary.
point. Yeah, I mean, I really agree, with this sort of major event or a, global conflict. I also think that, this stuff is digital, right? So if we were to have an attack during a global conflict, whether it was a cyber attack or an EMP, I think that would also, really drastically hamper their ability to put something like that through, because without the internet or some form of technology to keep that going, they're not going to be able to implement it either, right?
Right.
All your ones and zeros no longer exist. Imagine that.
Right.
And if it were to happen, like Jason said, like Agenda 2030 with depopulation, like we were talking about before we went live, here in the Tampa Bay area, if you want to go trick-or-treating with your kids, they're pushing for another booster. Oh, if you want to go trick-or-treating, you got to get another booster, It was just on the news today. And I'm like, what?
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Well, I keep seeing this thing that pops up on the TV constantly, and it's Elmo going ahead and have you guys seen that one? Where Elmo's got it and him and his dad are talking about it. And, it's this whole programming the children because Elmo got it, just talk to your pediatrician and, your kids need to get this and it's the safest thing so that you can keep your friends safe. And, this is what's being presented to our children.
And just leave the kids alone.
I know, right?
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. It's terrible.
Well, I mean, if you guys, Hudson Valley, you get New York one up by you?
Nope.
Yeah,
nope. I actually, bro, it was about 2 weeks ago. I totally cut the cord on, I had satellite TV here. And I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of all the crap that they're feeding me. And we just ixnayed it, man. I'm done with it. I'll do a little bit of streaming service from now on and watch what I want to watch and not be, spoon fed all their crap. Because like Prepping by Faith said, man, it was just right now, especially it's like political ads and freaking get vaccinated, get boosted.
Yeah.
I'm like, enough. I hear it on the radio. I hear it everywhere I go. And I'm just starting to turn off things that just keep blasting that in my ear. I can't stand it anymore.
Yeah.
It's funny because not yesterday, but when I mentioned on my live stream, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. I can't remember. Anyway, my wife we were looking at Lee Zeldin, right. He's running for New York State governor. So he's 10 points behind Kathy Hochul. So like, it's like an all out, shit show right now to get him in office. Anyway, my wife goes, that's Lee Zeldin. And I go, yeah. He goes, he's the one that's against abortion. I go, not really. He goes, he's the one that, like guns. And I go, yeah. She goes, I'm voting for him. So now here's the reason behind is he against abortion? Because she knows the way the Democrats play it here, it's a political ploy.
Oh, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Every Republican who's running here in New York, they're against abortion. They back J6. They want more guns on the street. They want more. And they say that more guns on the street, but they don't say law-abiding citizens.
In the right
part out.
Correct. Yeah, no. It's nothing but smear campaigns and propaganda, and in some cases just outright lies,
Yeah.
We got Mark Molinaro up here running for Congress now. He was the Dutchess County executive. He's a good dude. He was the youngest mayor ever elected in the United States of America. They elected him at just after his 18th birthday. He was the mayor of the village of Tivoli, and he was there for a long time. And then he got the county executive position. He's been doing a great job there. And all I hear is just smear campaign after smear campaign. It's freaking atrocious, man. I can't deal with it no more. Done. I'm done.
Yes. So that leads me to the next question. Why do you think that the governments of the world are pushing so strongly for a CBDC?
Personally, I think it's to eliminate black markets. If they can make all cash illegal, they can tap into billions of dollars in tax revenue from the guy on the corner selling his dime bags. You know, if they got to come by and tap the phone, and they're passing their currency that way, hey, how'd you get all this? We're gonna have to tax that, and he's gonna have to take it on the chin because that's the only currency that there is.
Right.
And they don't care if you're legal or illegal. Even if you go on the IRS's website right now, they tell you they want you to report your illegal income as income because that's actually income. So they're pushing for that, and I think that's going to be a real big push for them. They will be the new drug dealers.
Well, I'll one up Hudson Valley with complete and utter control. If you control somebody's money, you can have them do whatever you want. Imagine you don't want to get this new shot we have coming out for you. Well, then we're going to withhold your account until you get whatever arm ticket or whatever flavor of the month it is. Again, we looked at how the Chinese control their people, and they do it through the social credit scoring system. So with that, it's all about controlling us. Now, as far as the black market goes, the one thing I know about criminals, and you can rely on it, you could set your watch to it, they will come up with another form or another way to tap into that system. I mean, you see what's happening here. Well, Mike, you see what's happening here in the city with the stealing of the mail.
Oh yeah.
Right. So they put these
pirates galore.
Right. They put these slots in so that you could just drop the mail. And the reason for that was so that no one dropped a device in there. Right. Device that goes boom. So they switched it to these little skinny slots. And they said also it stops with mail theft. Okay. So now what they're doing is they're taking a belt, wrapping duct tape around it, slipping it through the slot, and then sliding mail out that way. And they're taking checks that way. So criminals, the point to that story is criminals will figure out a way to get into the CBD system. And if not, come up with their own currency that criminals can use.
Right. Autumn, did you have anything to add?
About why they want the
Yes.
CBDC? Well, I think it could lead to the point that they want the New World Order. So it'll be one New World Order, one religion, one currency, one everything.
Yeah. I agree completely. You guys all had really great points, and I agree with all of them. So there was something else that I happened across. I don't know if you guys have seen this or not, but the Federal Reserve actually put together this paper, and it's called Money and Payments, the US Dollar in the Age of Digital Transformation. It's like 40 something pages long. I did go ahead and link it in the description box for everybody to take a look at. But there's a lot of language in there that I feel like, are kind of tells as usual, They do talk a lot about the reasoning behind why they're saying they want to do this is they want to give access to people that don't have access, right? So they say a lot of stuff about how, there's more than 7 million Americans, or about 5% of US households that are unbanked. And they say that nearly 20% more have bank accounts, but they still rely on more costly financial services like money orders and check cashing services and payday loans. And they talk about this like they're trying to give these people access, when in all actuality, I think many of these people just don't want to be banked, right? Because they don't trust the banking system and they don't trust the government with their money. And I think, like you guys said, this is the real reason is that they want to get their hands on all of it and be able to control every dollar that we receive. There's a lot of language in there about needing to strike a balance between protecting consumer privacy and then deterring the criminal activity. And then the fact that the Federal Reserve Act, doesn't currently authorize direct Federal Reserve accounts for individuals, and such accounts, would represent a significant expansion to the Federal Reserve's role in the financial system and the economy. And then they also talk about how it would have to be identity verifiable, so more of that tracking and tracing. And I really think, that there's a strong case to be made here that if these CBDCs were to be interest bearing, I'm concerned that, it could do away with the traditional banking system and put a lot of these institutions under or eradicate them entirely. So, with this competitive substitution, there would be no need to really, deposit your money in a financial institution. So I would really encourage everyone to go ahead and read this. I think it's important to really give us an understanding of what their goals are. We can all kind of hit these highlights in a conversation, but really, taking the time to do your own research is important. And I know a lot of us talk about that in the community. So what do you guys think the risks are to the general public once these are implemented?
I think bad behavior is going to, I've heard it described as more of a voucher than a currency because it's programmable. And if your currency is programmable, we've all had the conversation that you were speeding on the way to work today, so you don't get to buy the Snickers bar at lunch. You can't have it. Your card won't work for it. Or you've eaten too much beef this week. You should probably have a couple salads, so you can't buy any more meat this week because they feel like turning it off.
Yeah.
Again, with the total control of everybody, of everything. And if they can control it like that, it's not really a currency, is it?
No, it isn't. Did you guys want to add anything?
Good point. That was a really good point.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think that it's, again, that paper you read, when they were talking about safeguarding people, they mentioned it a few times in there.
Mm-hmm.
They mentioned about it was protecting these folks, and not these folks, but people and consumers, and making sure that money is safe. And I'm reading this thing, and I'm like, this is bullshit.
I know.
It's the worst language in the world because, it's weird for those of us who are paying attention, all of us here. We're paying attention. We're looking at this and we're like, there's no way they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart or to protect us. This is all about how much money they can control and how better control. Because listen, they do this. And for now, left-leaning talk will be accepted. Right-leaning talk will be abolished, especially for those that are in that system. For those of us that are not in that system, we're probably going to have a compound somewhere, young ones screaming at a mic in the city streets, every Thursdays at 7, because we had to sneak into the city because we're not allowed to come in.
Right.
Financially, we'll be flunked. But anyway, my point to it is, it's only going to get worse if we allow it. Now, again, I don't see a lot of people going along with this. Maybe I'm being naive.
I pray that's so, Jason.
I'm hoping I'm naive. I'm hoping I'm wrong, but I don't see people going, that's a good idea. I want the government to run my money.
So that's why I think more of that. That's why I think it's going to take longer, because this is a tough pill to swallow, to change your entire monetary system. I mean, our monetary system today is still based off the gold-backed currency, fractional reserve banking. To get everybody off of that, it's a tough pill to swallow, man. They are not going to take it lightly, and they're going to have to do this super slow, super careful, or we're all just going to reject it. But like Jason said, my concern is that they're going to do some sort of thunderclap that's going to make us beg for it.
Well, they could, in theory, just go ahead and use the global conflict, use a full economic collapse, and I feel like they would have us sort of right where they want us, right? So if we were all to the economies of the world essentially collapse, and then you were to have, this global conflict, then at the end, like, they always have the problem, then they come with their solution. Their solution could be, here, we're going to have this, this currency, and this is going to fix our problems. And I think eventually it's going to roll into one. It's not going to just be each country having their own. It's going to go into one, and it's going to do away with things like having to worry about the exchange rate. And it's going to go ahead and create this perception of fairness across the board, right? So
Yep.
this whole everybody, will
Everybody gets a trophy.
Everybody will own nothing and be happy.
Yeah, that was the other thing too. They mentioned that about not low income, but there was another term they used for people who are not, well off, and how this is going to help them. And I'm like, and then I'm reading, and I'm like, how the fuck is it going to help them?
Yeah.
UBI.
Like, huh?
UBI.
Yep, Autumn, that's a great point.
Yeah, they've been doing a lot of pilot programs of universal
New
basic
York
income.
has it. California has
Up
it.
here in I think there's a couple in Kingston. There was a few in Hudson, New York.
They have one here in Colorado too that they've done.
The upstate poorer communities. It started with I think it was $300 or $400 a month that they would give them, and they wanted to see how it would improve their lives or how their lives would change from this money. And they did it for like 6 or 8 months, and then decided that it wasn't enough money, that we should give them more money and see how that improves their lives. So then they really started doling them out. I think it was up to like $1,000 a month that they were putting additional in these, chosen families' pockets.
Right. Well, with the UBI that's going to be rolling out, they're going to depict how much money you get, all depending on what your social credit score is going to be too, because don't forget that's going to be rolling out too.
Right.
And with the CBDC, because we were just talking about all of that. That's why I tell everybody, don't leave a lot of money in your bank account. Only leave enough in there to pay your monthly bills, and take the rest out and invest in either silver, gold, or your preps, and then put some money aside, obviously, for emergency money.
Yep.
And just leave enough in there to pay your bills, and that's it. Because when this rolls out, they're taking everything, and all that's gone.
In the meantime, make mattress money great again.
Yeah. Do what our grandparents and great grandparents did. Stuff your mattress.
You know what? I don't know. I have with the whole UBI thing. I remember I read an article on it a few months back, and like Hudson Valley was saying, they choose families to give it to, and a lot of the families, of course, a rebuttal study or whatever you want to call it comes out, and they find out that these people weren't spending the money what they were going to spend it on. So they were interviewed before they got into the program. You signed your name, they interview you. Like, oh, okay, you look like a good family, and then they give you the money. Well, a lot of these people were spending it on bullshit, cigarettes and fucking whatever the hell they spent it on. But I found that in each state there might have been 1 or 2 families where it changed their lives and made it better for them. Like one lady in Jersey said, "Oh, this made it so much better for me because I was able to pay childcare and go to work. Now I don't have to rely on the UBI anymore." But she didn't call it that; it was under another name in Jersey. Yeah, and I'm like, it's bullshit. Like you're picking the one person.
It's like a lottery, right?
Right, out of the 1,000 that fucked that system up, that screwed it up. But this one person made it happen. So like, yes, we'll use this as the poster child for our program here.
Well, and it's not even done the same. I don't know if you guys have it there, but what I was reading that they were doing here is that they're picking and choosing these people, but out of that pool of people, they're also giving it to them in different ways, right? So one of them, they might give a lump sum. Somebody else, they might just give so much a month. It's not even a fair, equitable way of figuring out how it's really going to be benefit.
Right. And plus with the UBI, you get a lump sum and that's it. And they're not going to tell you how to spend it. But there's no other way to earn money, because once you get UBI, that's it. You can work all you want, but that's it. That's all you get with the new system that's coming out. That's all you get, UBI. That's it. Yeah. Incredible. And all depending on your social credit score, you can either get $500 a month or $2,000 a month or however, but it's per person, I think.
Right. And I think that's kind of the key here too, right? Is understanding that all of this stuff is so intertwined. We're talking about the central bank digital currency, but it also encompasses the UBI and it encompasses the social credit scoring. So that's a good point.
It's all a part of that Agenda
Mhm.
2030 that I
Right.
literally touch on all the time. And
Yeah.
it's crazy.
You really can't touch one without touching the others when you talk
Yeah.
about this stuff. So,
Yeah.
do you guys see any positives at all associated with this, or do you kind of see all of it in a negative light?
It's all negative. All of it.
If you look for the positive,
Mhm.
you're making an excuse for it.
Right.
Right?
Great
'Cause
point. Great
this
point.
is it's bad all the way around. Of course, the politicians, they talk to their morons and they're like, "Hey, morons, this will be great for you," and people be like, "Maybe it is great." Then they come to find out that they did something a couple weeks ago, and it catches up with them. They look at their bank account and they see $25 deducted.
Mhm.
They're like, "Holy shit! Well, what did I do?" Well, you dropped some trash or receipt on the floor and you didn't pick it up. Now I'm being extreme because if they do find you, it's going to be a lot less. But I'm just trying to make the point that there's nothing good ever when the government is running it for you.
Yeah.
It just isn't,
Mhm.
you know. And the
Yep.
welfare system, though that's pretty much government run, that's actually a case in point. The government, the welfare systems run like shit. Look at the people who abuse it. Look at the fact that they know people abuse it,
Yeah.
and yet people who abuse it, they get a pass. But if all four of us today were to go belly up financially and had to go into the welfare system, they would read us the riot act.
Mhm.
Well,
Right?
I wouldn't be let on. I wouldn't be let on.
Yeah,
I,
he'd be
I
out.
swear. I'm
I'd have
out.
to go to Mexico, register as Juan, come back, across the border, and then and get it that way.
There
Yep.
you go.
Well, plus they go by what we made last year, not what we make this year.
Okay.
So if you were working last year and you're not working right now, they go by what you made last year.
Mhm.
Well, that's how they do it here in Tampa. And it's like, well, I'm not working right now. I need food now. Nope, sorry.
Yeah.
You should have saved money. No, yeah.
Right.
Even though
I
you were
know.
living paycheck to paycheck, doesn't matter. Yeah.
Right, they don't care.
Hmm.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely all negative. And I'm kind of wondering too, when I was talking about earlier about that 5% of the Americans that really don't bank at all. I was thinking about that, and I really think that that number is also way underreported, because if you take into account all of the illegals that have entered our country in the last couple of years, the vast majority of them are not with any sort of banking institutions either, you
Right.
know? And then I also have a great concern for our elderly population. A lot of them are not going to be as easily manipulated because they're not really interested in learning this new technology. Many of them don't have access to smartphones and internet and all this sort of thing. So,
Mhm.
what is their plan for them? What are they going to do for them? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
Did you guys see the increase coming to Social Security?
Yeah,
It's almost a slap in the face.
well, the increase is only happening because the Medicaid or Medicare or whatever is going
it's
up.
going up, and it
Yeah, but
always does.
so Social Security is supposed to run out of money real soon, right?
Mhm.
They're just about tapped.
Yes.
I think what it equated to was about $146 for everybody on Social Security. You get an extra if you're maxed out on it. If you're getting max, you will get an extra $146. But we're going to have to print that money to make it happen because it
Right.
doesn't exist. We can't get it from thin air. So it's yeah, that's rough, man. That's
Yeah.
rough. I don't know how folks on Social Security are supposed to live on less than $2,000 a month in today's prices. It boggles my mind.
Yeah.
I you almost have to go into a nursing home and say, hey, here's my check, take care of me, because I
Right.
can't afford to take care of myself.
Yep. It's a good point. And where will we all be when we need it? You know what I mean? I mean,
Oh,
There's
all the
not-
money I paid in my whole life, I guarantee I'll never
it's
see a dime
evaporating.
of it.
Yeah.
It's all going to vaporize, and I'm going to ask where my money is, and they're going to say, oh, sorry, it's gone. But you helped out a lot of people.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm doing my part.
So
Gee whiz.
Lee just said it's 8.7%, the highest in 4 decades, is what he heard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
for
Yep.
the-
And 8.7% when you add that on to, I think the max was like $1,700 a month. I think it comes out to about 146 to 180 bucks, somewhere in that neighborhood. But that's all the extra that they'll be getting. That's it.
Mhm.
That's crazy. And it's funny, people like, you retire, you get this and you get that. Social Security. I'm like, I'm not getting Social Security. You're like,
No.
yeah, there's enough in there. I'm like, fucking says who? And they're like, I'm like, don't. I said, we're not seeing that money, man. It's done. I said, I paid my share. I'm paying off what we're paying off. And when our time comes, it's why, again, we plan ahead.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not relying on that Social Security.
No, you can't.
Right. I'm not even thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, we try to, pad our pensions, do what we do the YouTube on the side, or fucking sell, paintings, or fucking spam on the side, whatever it is, make ends meet. That's what we're going to be doing.
Hey, I'm going for broke with the prepper yard sale, bro.
There you go.
I love it.
That's it. That's all I got. That's my retirement fund right there. Prepper yard sale. And if they do this CBDC stuff, it's going to be the prepper barter sale.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, I think that's where we're all going to be headed eventually.
The swap and prep market.
I'm bartering now. Shit. I love it.
Hey, do it if you can.
Yeah, I do. My mechanic, I do all of his canning for him, and he works on all my cars.
That's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Sold.
I don't care. I love it.
That's great.
Heck yeah.
So sort of coming back to the whole CBDC thing, do you guys think that there will be other options for us? So, sort of a soft rollout, or do you think that this will be more of a hard rollout with no other options?
No, I think it'll be a soft rollout, just like what they were doing with the UBI. It's going to be test runs all over the place, and then this is it.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that.
But also, what they're going to do is, regardless if you have a history of work or not, you're going to be receiving your UBI, your CBDC, just like you have and I have been working all of our lives since we were 15, 16 years old. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, you could be a lump on a couch for 30 years, and you're going to receive just as much money as I do. And I've been working since I was 15.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's where that comes back to the whole sameness. Everybody is going to be the same, right?
Right.
Yep.
It's what? It's the population they want. I mean, listen, I think history has shown us that the kings, queens from Roman days, the Egyptian days, and even further back beyond the Egyptians, you had Vikings. Everybody has a society that they want to protect. And it's normally the rich society. The underlings, if you will, which are us, we're always thrown out there as, I will protect you guys, keep you guys fed, this, that, and the third, but you guys can only be here. You can't elevate to the rich level. And in a lot of cases, it was almost impossible for you to go lower. Well, now we're at a point where, and I was watching this in the show Westworld, but we're at this point now where we're watching the rich want to stay rich, tell us that they're going to protect us by keeping our money in this, central digital banking system. And we're sitting here going, that's a good idea, because they're looking to protect us. Meanwhile, they'll have steak dinners while we're eating synthetic meat, right?
If we're allowed to have synthetic meat.
Yeah, right. If we're allowed, and that's probably a treat. Oh, you guys did good this month. Here goes your synthetic burger, and at the synthetic meat shit, it's insane. And then I found it interesting, off topic a little bit, the breast milk situation. Women are now coming up with
plastics.
Yes, microplastics in the breast milk. And I'm like, and right behind that, they're talking about synthetic breast milk.
Of course.
Right. Yep. So now you figure, we're starting to figure it out. Bill Gates wants us on synthetic meat. He's also pushing for synthetic breast milk. So is the Facebook guy. And then they have this digital banking system come out. And so now it's all starting to connect.
Yes.
Because if you get us off of real meat, you can put whatever you want to put in that synthetic meat.
Yep.
And control us even more, especially with this. I mean, when you look at the biotech companies and the shit that they're developing,
those brain implants and everything.
Right.
What's going on?
You look at all of that stuff. You look at the nanotechnology that they're looking to inject into us, but the best way to do it is to put it in the food.
Yep.
Right. shut down the emotional platform of the human brain, and then we're all in. Which
Robots.
is right. Daily life.
Real robots.
Microplastics in water as well. Yes, Chad, that was a good point.
I've actually heard some really scary stories from a friend of mine who works in water treatment about the state of our drinking water systems and how contaminated they actually are. And we just couldn't tell because we couldn't test for it before.
Oh my God.
And these tests are still really expensive to administer for like the microplastics like Angry was talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess 99% of the people that they tested have this stuff in their body and in their blood because we've been consuming it for so long that now it gets passed from mother to child through breast milk. It's that prevalent in our bodies right now. It's scary.
It's awful. Absolute crime against humanity.
It really is.
Well, there's only one way to fix that problem, and again, people got to be on board with it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we could sit here and talk about this till we're blue in the face. There's only one action that needs to be done. The problem is, I think a lot of people are scared to go ahead and do it.
Yeah.
A lot of us are fed up. I think we don't want that, arm ticket in our fucking food, right? That's coming down the pipe. They already have a company working on mRNAs shots to go into the actual animal. So not so much like they're looking at a packet of meat and putting it in the meat. They're putting it into the animals to protect them from whatever virus is in that region. But I'm like, that's BS. But anyway,
it's passed along to people.
Right. Right now they're starting with goats, cows. They're talking about in a couple of years, and chicken within a couple of years. So we shall see how bad this is going to get. But I think two things can happen. It could backfire and it can kill all the animals they initially inject.
Right.
Or it could pass on to us. And now, because mRNA can flip and if you will, DNA sample,
Mm-hmm.
we can pick up something from that bird that a human would have never gotten had
Yes.
that thing not been introduced. But again, that's theory.
Scary, man. They keep playing God, and eventually we're going to end up at a zombie apocalypse.
That'd be great. I would appreciate that a little better than what.
As long as you're the slow-moving ones, not the World War Z ones, we're okay.
That's right. Yeah. If I can get some creeper zombies, that'd be cool.
Yeah. They're running at us. I'm like, I'm done. We're
I know, right?
Yep.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not dealing with those ones.
I'm not outrunning that shit. What's this?
No.
Tallest building in the city, buddy.
Chains
Top
and
floor.
everything. Like, no.
Top floor.
Or you just stand next to somebody with monkeypox and let them run around you. That can all
That's too funny. So, do you guys think that there's anything that we can do to protect ourselves against this new banking structure?
No, well, they're going to roll it out regardless of. Yeah.
I would say start our own society.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then we stay within that society, and then we don't have to depend on that system. Now, unfortunately, if you're still working, then you're going to be a part of that system.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're not working, or you choose to be like, I'm not doing this, and start and hang with that society, we'll get by for a little while. I think we'll get by for a few years until they start looking at us, and like they did with David Koresh and Ruby Ridge.
Oh yeah.
Right? They start looking at us at that angle. But I think for a few years we'll be okay if we start our own society.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with Jason. You got to completely unplug from the matrix, so to speak.
Yep.
And you can't go back to it. You can't go back to it.
Hoosier has the compound that's ready. I don't. know.
Well, I think it's going to take a lot more than a compound. I think it's going to take a village. I really do.
A network of people.
Yeah, and that's it's something I've been trying to work on, but it's tough, man.
It is
stuff
tough.
like that. It's
Well, when we talk about a new community or a new society, everybody immediately thinks of like a big piece of property, and everybody lives on the one piece of property. I think it needs to be more of you kind of live where you live, you work with what you have, but everybody has to come
like
together.
Always, right?
Yeah, for like a barter market, on Sunday afternoons, everybody's out and everybody's got their stuff out. Your corn you grew, your tomatoes, your whatever it is that you
and then
have.
bartering your skills too, right? So,
Correct. Yep.
Right.
You're out there with your toolbox and,
Mhm.
patching
Has
up roofs
anybody
and doing what needs
learned
to be
new
done.
skills to barter with?
That's a big one.
Mhm.
That's a big
I'm
one. Better
serious.
have some.
I mean,
Excuse
I
me.
honestly think that's the only way that we're going to get by is really, focusing on building community. And obviously, everybody's going to have to do their part, and you're going to have to, try to start local. As some of you guys know, I have started a group here in Colorado. We've been meeting every 2 weeks on, Google Meet for now at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. So if there are any of you guys watching that are in Colorado and you did not know about this, go ahead and email me at preppingbyfaith1985@gmail.com. I really do think this is critical that we start doing what we can and start trying to put this together. I mean,
Yeah.
That's awesome,
gotta start
sister.
somewhere.
Congratulations. Keep
Yeah.
pushing.
That's
Keep
great.
pushing.
Yeah, man.
Keep pushing. And somebody said in the comments, James Weiser said communities. That's it. Communities are the answer. We like to call them, well, I like to call them self-sustaining communities.
Mhm.
Yes.
Self-sustaining in every aspect. You have your mechanic, like Autumn's Backyard Garden has. She has her mechanic that she cans for. And then you have a plumber that you do something else for. Maybe you fix his clothes or you clean his van once a week. Whatever the case may be, man. If you don't have skills to barter, you're going to end up working for the farmer if you want to eat.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. I always thought, I mean, and again, I'm not any kind of economist or anything like that, but I always thought once I understood money, that we didn't need money,
Mm-hmm.
that the human race figured out a way how to get by with each other's services, like you said, right? And I'm thinking that now more than ever, I'm like, we don't need the cash.
We don't.
We have a system where everyone works, and the lazy motherfucker, you launch him right over the wall, right? You kick him right.
Yeah.
Now, clearly, if somebody's too old, like let's just
Right.
say old Mutt, and he, even though he's still kicking and functioning, those people you would absolutely, like do the work for or tell them to
Yep.
take it easy.
Well,
Especially,
those are the teachers, man. Those are the people who have to pass that knowledge on beyond us. We've absorbed a lot from them.
Yeah, I would
And
argue that they're the most important. They're the most
absolutely,
valuable.
absolutely.
right? Well, you
Those
put
are the people that you want around your kids, teaching them everything and anything,
right.
because the kids absorb it like a sponge and they leach it out like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Kids
Well,
love,
it's just like
and
I
kids like
said,
that shit.
you got to learn your skills now. Like I told you before we started, what I'm doing with all of my appliances. I'm learning what the first 3 things to go on each of my appliances, and I'm buying the parts and I'm learning how to replace them. I just fixed my dryer last night. I'm buying a new motor for my dryer and I'm replacing that. I'm buying the new heating element, and I fixed my washer machine. I fixed my refrigerator. And I'm like, how the hell am I doing this? But I'm doing it. I'm learning, and
That's
I'm
awesome.
buying all the parts because I don't want to have to pay a repairman $600 because they charge $150 an hour
Yes.
to come out, and they milk those hours to
Mhm.
make that money. I'm
Well,
learning how to do it myself.
When I say a lot, always prepare to be your own first responder in all aspects of life. And
Yeah.
it even comes down to things like that. You got to be your own appliance repair person.
Mhm.
You have to, in some cases, you may have to be your own gunsmith. In some cases, you may have to be your own archery technician and fix your bow.
Yeah.
Who knows what it is? Internet troubleshooting. That's something I'm still learning on, but I'll get there.
Internet, I just smash it in a million pieces and get a new one.
Hey, it takes like 3 weeks to get somebody to show up to your house up here, man.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
shit.
like in a societal collapse or whatever the case may be, there might not be repairmen
no.
or repair ladies or whatever, So if I have to fix somebody's thing, hey, listen, I'll barter you this and I'll fix your dryer, whatever the case. I used to be a hairdresser. I can, be your hairdresser. I learned how to be a dog groomer and a cat groomer. Got all the equipment.
Yep.
I'll do that.
Me too. I do my dog.
Yeah, so yeah. I'm learning.
Mhm.
Learning now before all this hits.
And that's critical. I mean, I think that is what everybody should be doing right now, is really immersing ourselves in the learning. Right now, we have access to so much through, different YouTube channels and everything else, like just about anything that you want to type in. You don't even have to, have a book right now. I mean, I would still encourage you guys to have it as backups in case we were to lose the internet. But right now, you can have these instructionals for free. So time to take advantage of
them out.
that.
Yeah.
The Livingston man calls it online film school.
Yeah, I mean, it really is. It's a great one.
Yeah.
So my last question for you guys is, do you guys think that this central bank digital currency is a stepping stone towards something else? And I know Autumn kind of already touched on this a little bit earlier.
NWO, yeah.
Yeah, she said it. New World Order. I mean, that's the only way to usher in complete control is bit by bit. You know, and listen, if you introduce somebody something entirely new, time has shown us, and even some certain studies, people get frustrated, confused, and in some cases scared, right? Even if it's something as small as, which I've seen this, which blew my mind, at the Apple store. You ever go to the Apple store midday, around 12, 1 o'clock in the afternoon? A bunch of old people gather up there. And I remember hearing a lady once saying how the technology of the world today scared her because it's just so much, So now, if the New World Order people roll this shit out, all of it out at once, it would shock people to be like, we're not doing this. So how do you get the morons on board? You drift and drab, right? And people roll into that. But this is definitely going to be something that they're setting us up, or the human race up, for down the line.
Yep. You see it all the time when you hit the grocery stores, and everything's like self-checkout, but only one of them takes cash. All of them encourage you to use the credit card. You're like, oh man, I just wanted to use the $20 I had in my pocket, but I can get out of here like 10 minutes faster if I just go over and swipe the card and I'm out of here. Or if I just tap the phone, I'm out of here. I don't have to dig in my pockets. I don't have to do all this. We've always been kind of an instant gratification society, especially since like the 90s, I would say. In the 90s, we started to stand and tap our toe and wait for the microwave, right? And you always stop the thing when it's still got like 3 or 4 seconds on it. You can't let it beep, right? You got to turn it off.
Yeah.
So they know that we're that instant gratification society. And if it isn't, Facebook glorious, giving you that hit of dopamine when you push that button and you do your digital banking, it's not going to catch on. So like Jason said, it's going to be the slow rollout, man, the slow rollout. And they're going to hook everybody somehow. I just don't know how.
Right. Well, and to your point with that whole, just instantly tapping your card, they've taken it even a step further with all of the apps, right? That everybody has an app. Everybody wants you to use their app. Even the drive-thrus now, it's like they're incentivizing you to use that app because that's how you get your coupons. That's how you get your discounts. This is the only way. They do it at the big box stores too, like Sam's Club. We're constantly being told, use Scan and Go. You need to use Scan and Go. We're going to give you $10 or whatever it is. Start using this Scan and Go so you don't even have to go through the checkout and scan yourself anymore. We want you using this, right? So we're definitely getting pushed into that direction. And I agree with all of you guys. I think it's definitely headed to this one world government, one world currency, and one world religion. That's where we're going. Now, how long it's going to take us to get there, like you guys said, I think it just depends. It depends on how quickly they can deceive the masses is where we're at, right? And I really do think they're going to keep using the carrot approach, at least initially, because they've got to get the majority of people into the corral before they were to go ahead and start using the stick. Otherwise, they're going to have mass non-compliance on their hands, and they're not going to be able to handle it.
Right. But they're also going to take into consideration, too, if you don't have this, that's another stepping stone. You're not going to get that UBI.
Right.
Yep, it's going to lower your social credit score by 500 points.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to be there then.
I actually have a question for you guys because it's something that I've been thinking about. A CBDC is essentially a government-controlled cryptocurrency, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I think we're all in agreement about that. I think the next question is, everybody who has their Bitcoin and their Ethereum and all of these things, do you think that the governments of the world are going to allow non-government controlled competition basically for that currency? Or are they just going to say that your cryptos are illegal, you have to have this, otherwise it's fake, and basically make all of these cryptocurrencies like, you know, fake money now, like fake money. Like you try to use Bitcoin, it's basically the equivalent of you going into the store with a fake $100 bill.
Right. I think they'll sort of cash them over is what I'm thinking once they get this thing up and running the way they want to.
Yeah.
Or go ahead, Jason.
No, I said you think so? Because I think they're going to dump it.
I don't know exactly what they're going to do. They could do that, or they could start trying to tie, you know, some more strings and stuff to those. Because I mean, the language that I was reading is that they're trying to figure out how to essentially control those through some sort of method. So they're going to definitely figure out a way to get their tentacles on it somehow. So whether that's, you know, them getting rid of it entirely, or, you know, just more taxes, more fees, more whatever to make they've got to try to make the other one more attractive, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah, makes sense.
What do you guys think?
No, yeah, you're right. It's another carrot, like you said. Dangle the
Well,
carrot.
I could see criminals using cryptocurrency or something like it to their advantage with the central digital banking system. Listen, nothing is foolproof. And the one thing, and we all know when it comes to computers anyway, you can mask whatever you want in the digital age, right? So somebody could sit there, come up and create a fake account on a digital banking system and put all this money into it, and now they're an instant millionaire. The only problem is the tracking issues that you guys are talking about, where, you know, why is Jason Charles spending, you know, $3,000 a day on fucking, you know, X, Y, and Z? How did he get all that money? So then that'll lend to that. But if somebody can get away with spending it first, they're going. It's like anything else, man. It's like when people rob banks. Why the hell is Tony over there riding in a new Corvette? Where did he get that money from? And then they get caught, right?
Yeah.
Instead of spending it slowly. So I definitely think we're going to see some interesting shit with this digital banking system. At least not us being in it, but people hacking the system. That's going to be glorious.
Right. And someone just asked a question. Do you think they'll implement the spend it or lose it policy? Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I meant to touch on that too, and I forgot. But yeah, I do think they're going to do that. I don't think we're going to be able to save like we're traditionally used to. I think they're definitely going to do that. Exactly.
I think they're going to do like the NYC did with the mandates and dangle the donut over your head first. Then like the Yankee tickets next. Then it's going to be, we'll give you $100, man. Just switch over.
Or for here, it'll be because we're close to Orlando. Oh, Disney World tickets. Here you go. Busch Garden tickets. Here you go. Yeah.
Right.
Busch Garden tickets.
Yeah. Well, because we live literally like down the road from Busch Gardens, you know.
Okay.
So yeah.
I didn't know that place still existed.
Yeah, it's there.
That's what I want. Busch Garden tickets.
Right.
Yes, I'm signing up.
We're seeing pass holders. Hello.
I'm in. I get to see giraffes. I'm in. I
want to see giraffes and shit. Or better yet, is the one in Virginia still there?
Virginia.
Ooh,
I don't know.
There was Busch Gardens in Virginia. There's the colonial one.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Everybody looks surprised when I said that. Virginia, It's a if I'm not mistaken, there should be a Busch Gardens of Virginia. I think that was the first one, and that was the colonial one. You know, with fucking kids playing pipes and guys walking around in Civil War shit. Or
that's my style, man. That's my style. That's the Busch Gardens I'm going to when I sign up for the CBDC.
There you go.
Yep, I'm holding out. I'm holding out for Busch Garden tickets now.
That's what I wait for that. You know, they say you'll join the system and we'll give you Busch Garden tickets. I'm in. You don't say anymore. I'm going.
Do I pick them up at the front gate or do you mail them to me?
Mail them to me.
That's all I want to know.
In fact,
that's right.
My banking system. I'll get it there.
That's right. That's
No,
right.
if they mailed them, you'd have the guy fishing it out of the mailbox, right?
Well, the Busch Gardens,
that's right.
we have the
Yeah.
brewery in our Busch Gardens for Busch beer. We have the brewery.
Yes.
Oh,
I didn't know that was still there. You know, when I went to Busch Gardens,
and giraffes. Now we're talking.
that's a sell for everyone. The last time I was in Busch Gardens, I was 8 years old.
Oh,
I'm
my
45. Right, so that's
Time
what
to
I
go
think.
back. Time to go back.
Oh, shit.
I've never been, I don't think.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're missing out a whole new generation of giraffes, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
great.
I can't remember much from it either. That's how boring it was. It's stupid. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, it was stupid. But yeah, man, Busch Gardens and SeaWorld. Those are the two selling points.
Oh, yeah. Was there anything else that you guys wanted to add, or was there anything that you guys wanted to promote?
I'll do a shameless plug of the Prepper Yard Sale this weekend
There you
in
go.
upstate New York. If you guys are from upstate New York, check out the channel. There's links in the videos to the Facebook group. And on the Facebook group, right in the top, you don't have to join or anything. It's a public group. Right on the top, I got a pinned section there that has the Prepper Yard Sale. It'll get you the address and all the particulars about it. But stop out, check it out. It's free 99. It's a Prepper Yard Sale and camp out, and it is this weekend.
That's awesome. Mike, did you want to go ahead and also talk about Operation Pocketbook? Because I know that is coming up really close as well.
Yes. So Operation Pocketbook, we've been using the hashtag Operation Pocketbook. The premise is for us to stand up against the people who've been stifling free speech. And I think the best way to do it is to hit them in their pocketbook. So Prepper Now and I came up with the idea of Operation Pocketbook. And we decided that on October 31st, we are going to log out, not go on, but log out, hit the button and actually log out of all the social media accounts that stifle free speech. So no Twitter, no YouTube, no Facebook, no Instagram. None of the big popular platforms get to scroll those ads that they make so much money off of past us for one day. And we're going to see just how hard collectively we can hit them in their pocketbook. So we dubbed it Operation Pocketbook. And midnight on October 30th, I'm logging out and I won't see you guys till at least November 1st, maybe the 2nd or the 3rd if I'm feeling frisky and I'm enjoying myself. So we'll see how long I can hold out for. I'm going to be texting Jason all the time because I'm going to be jonesing to be on the internet. And I'll be like, bro, I don't know if I can do it. You got to help me out, man. I think I'm going to use. But yeah, Operation Pocketbook, that's October 31st. So Halloween, go enjoy it with your family, guys. Stay off the social media.
Married on Halloween, so I won't be on anything.
Take all the pictures you want. Your phone is nothing but you can call people, you can text people, you can take pictures, you can take videos. Just stay off the big platforms and let's see if we can collectively kick these guys in their pocketbook. And the algorithms are going to pick it up, guys. They're going to see it. They're going to see the negative profits that day. Even if it's just a small basket of deplorables, right? that jump on and do this.
Yeah.
They're going to see it. They're going to see it, and we're going to make waves. And hey, maybe next time we do it for a week and really hit them in the pocketbook. So
yeah, all right.
Give it a shot, man. It's just a day. I can't ask you to do less than absolutely nothing that day, which is what I'm asking you to do. Do nothing. Nothing.
I'll say
on
something
social
on my
media.
channel.
Nothing.
I'll get everybody doing that. I don't care.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, guys, if you guys have any questions for us in the chat, if now is the time to go ahead and drop those, please put them in all caps because sometimes it's really hard for me to see them. I see Mrs. Ghetto is in there saying hello. Hello, good to see you. Do we have anybody else in here? I see Angry Homesteader has joined us as well. Good to see you in there. And City Girl Homestead. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of you guys in there as well. I'm going to give you guys a second because I know there's a delay and, you know, we're not all Speedy Gonzalez at typing either. So
I do better typing on the cell phone than I do on the computer.
I know, right?
I'm like the old guy on the computer with one finger trying to type something out.
That is not in caps. You didn't follow the rules, but I see it.
Market. Okay. From what I understand, it's supposed to crash October 21st, is what I was told.
Really?
Yeah.
What's supposed to crash?
The market.
The market was supposed to crash 8 times this year, and it didn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not gonna hold my breath for the 21st either.
No, me neither. But that's what I was told. So, all right.
I think the market's been propped up for a really long time, and if you look at the gains, a whole year has almost already been erased, and I think we're kind of at the frog in the pot with the stock market too, where you might see some gains some days and some gains others, but across the week you're still going to lose. And I think that's the slow crumble of the stock market. They're bringing it back down to reality slowly because it's been so disjointed, man. It's been, you see things come out in the news that would otherwise shock the market. We're talking 800-point losses, and the market gains 400 points that day. It's totally disassociated from reality. So I think we're looking at a very slow crumble of the market. I think it's going to just keep turning down a little and turning down a little. Every 6 months, it'll lose a couple thousand points, and it's just going to go away slowly. That's my opinion.
Do you have anything to add, Jason?
No, Hudson Valley's right. I think we're going to see it happen at a slow boil, if you will, a slow effect. Because 1929, first crash, shocked the world, and everybody around the world was affected. I mean, up until probably 20 years ago, I thought it was just an American thing, but no, the entire world was affected by it.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm.
So now 2022, 2023, 2024, we see a stock market crash. And anything now, we are double, if not triple the capacity around the world, maybe double the capacity around the world. There is no way society is going to be able to sustain itself during an economic crash.
Mhm.
And by then, all hell's going to break loose, I think.
I did hear it's supposed to be worse than the Great Depression, though, this crash that's coming up. But
I think it will be because a lot of people are accustomed to a lot more things.
yeah, we're spoiled.
And we are, and we have been for a long time, and we've been living the cushy life because my grandparents were ass kickers, so I got to live the cushy life. And when you start to unplug and take things away, it's going to be really hard for some people, like really
Especially
hard.
for our younger generation. I mean, look at what happens when you take an Android or a tablet or a laptop away from a kid.
Mhm.
They have a total meltdown. They don't know what it's like to sit down and read a book. They have no clue what it's like because they're with the face in the phone or the tablet or the Xbox or the PlayStation. They're not going to know what it's like to not have internet or anything. They don't know what it's like to go outside until the street lights come on. They have no clue. They didn't grow up like we did.
No.
Yeah. So for me on this question, when do you think the market will crash? I mean, I just kind of look at it and I think, we're all preppers, right? So as long as you're prepared and you're ready for this to happen, it shouldn't matter if it happens tomorrow or it happens next year or it happens in 10 years, you should be ready for it, right? So as long as you're living like it already crashed and you're already, preparing, you've got your preps, you've got your skills, you've got most of your money out of the bank, you have your precious metals, you've done everything that you can, then, I don't really see the point in being that concerned with those types of questions, I guess, for me.
Yeah, but nobody's 100% prepped in all aspects of prepping.
Well, yeah, you're never going to be 100% prepped. But I mean, I just, from my standpoint, it's like, I feel like we are constantly asking these sorts of questions and we kind of, almost let them sort of I don't want people to allow it to dominate their lives. You know, if this is all you're focused on, this is all you're thinking about, keep it in the back of your mind. But first and foremost, if you're doing the things that you need to do, then you should be getting more prepared for this sort of a scenario.
Right. But also keep in mind that the Great Depression of 1929 lasted for a decade. This Great Depression, this new Great Depression, is supposed to last for more than a decade. So keep in the back of your mind, do you have more than 10 years worth of food and preps?
I don't think anybody's going to have more than 10 years worth of food, though, or anything.
Okay.
That's where I think building the community is going to be the most important part of this.
But there's a lot of us that are loners, lone wolves. We don't have that. And sometimes we don't want that. Mm-hmm. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that come along with that, you know, and, you know, first, because I hear it all the time in the comments, you know, they know everything there is to know about prepping. Do you?
No, no one can. Nope.
I accept that challenge. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You know, because like I said to you today, someone had commented on a video of mine. Don't talk about something that you know nothing about. Well, I accept that challenge. Come on, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Please question me.
Right.
Dare you? Because all I do is read.
Mm-hmm.
All I do is read. And I listen to guys like him, like Jason, like Mike, like you. I listen to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And I soak all that in. So yeah, I do know a lot.
Yeah.
And plus I read a lot. So please question me.
Right.
I think when things get really bad, everybody's going to have their own personal struggles.
Oh,
sure. We're all going to be running around like chickens without heads at first. Sure.
And even the communities, even the self-sustaining communities, when that outside world is no longer there and you're now out on that island with just you and your people, and that's it, you know, because that's basically what it's going to feel like, is like you're on an island all by yourselves and there's nobody else around. It's just you and that's it. Your world is going to feel very small, but you have a very prepared world, we'll say.
Well, and that's where that mental fortitude and, you know, this
Exactly.
if you're into your faith, your spiritual well-being is going to be very critical as well.
Right.
I'm going to go ahead and grab a couple more of these questions real quick because I know we're over time. Do you think the 2024 election will affect the CBDC?
I don't think we'll have CBDC before the 2024 election, personally.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I don't think that's the one has anything to do with the other at this point.
Right.
I think, you know, if the CBDC goes into effect, it goes into effect regardless of who's president. Now, to be fair, if for some reason Trump runs again and he wins, which I don't think so, but if he does, he might delay a couple of things. But again, like Mike said, that's down the line. I don't think, you know, we have to worry about that. What we have to worry about for the 2024 election is a hung election.
Mm-hmm.
That would be, I think, in my opinion, that would be some absolutely scary shit, because that means something bigger is going on than we realize.
This one says, in my area, the gas went down some, but has gone up again. Anyone else?
Yep.
Yes, exactly the same thing. I think this is happening across the entire country.
Yeah.
So
I don't even look anymore.
Yep.
I just pump and pay.
Yep. Hold on to my wallet and pump the gas.
Yeah.
If we don't run out, then they're at least going to be so expensive, I think, that a lot of people may not be able to afford them this year. So, you know,
A lot of people are going to be having ham for Thanksgiving.
Yeah. I still haven't seen any even, they're not even available yet in my area. And
sure.
I went online and I was typing it in just to see, you know, how much they are. And it's ungodly. I saw $2.64 a pound. And I got it for 99 cents a pound last year, if that tells you anything. So,
Jason, get your hunting license. We got to go get the cheap turkeys from the woods.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's going to happen. Now I'm throwing rocks at them. You choose.
So I've been prepping a while, but getting burned out, feeling overwhelmed with everything that is going on. Any advice? You know what? I think we're all struggling with different things right now. It may not even just be prepping. It could just be, you know, other things that are going on in your life. So for me, my advice to you would be, if you're a praying person, spend some time with God, spend some time in the Word of God, really build up your faith, because your faith is what is going to help you persevere through everything that we're going to be witnessing. And I would really encourage you to find something like that, some outlet. If there's other people that you can talk to, friends, family, anybody that you can turn to that's going to start building you back up, find that joy in your life. That's where I'm at right now. I'm struggling with my joy. And so just find things that make you happy, do some of the things that really bring that joy back into your life. Prepping is really important, but also so is your mental health. So if you need to walk away from it for a day or two and take a break, or you just can't handle all the negativity in the news, it's okay to turn it off. You don't have to be immersed in it 24/7. Some people can handle it more than others. And, that's just, the way it is. So I would just encourage you to do that. Did you guys have anything?
Oh, you said it. Just find something. Just turn it off. I mean, don't. It's a lot easier than you think. If you find yourself being burned out from prepping, just stop. Don't think about it. Watch not the news. Sorry, watch a movie. Watch a movie. Read a book. Go for a walk. Go out camping for a couple of days. You'll realign. I started getting burned out a few years ago because I thought I needed to have it all, and when the reality is you're not going to get it all. What you're going to have to do is come up with plans on how to pivot and how to adapt to whatever might be going on. But other than that, before I go down that hole, just turn it off, man. Just, listen to some music. Like I said, camping I think is the best way to reset the body. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I honestly believe, because I get those emails all the time.
Yes.
I'm burnt out. I don't have any more money. What can I do? First, what I always say is you have to prep your mind. Prep your mind first. Prep mentally first, and start prepping your body, because and then read. Do a lot of reading. And I have over 100 PDFs that I send people that they request. I have everything from medical, how to help someone do childbirth. I have so many PDFs that are medical and everything else, and surviving out off grid, and cooking with preps and stuff like that. Here, read first, and then let's talk about buying preps. I'd rather you be not, because knowledge is power. I'd rather you be knowledgeable first and then start spending money.
Right. I agree. And don't compare yourself to everybody else out there either. I think that's another huge one that everybody has done. And they're like, well, I should be here because this person's got this. Well, what you don't understand is that person has been prepping for the last decade. And so of course they have more than you. They're going to have more skills. They're going to have more preps. They're going to have more gear. It's just the way it is. And you need to be, fair with yourself. Give yourself some grace. Yep.
I think their name says it all, man. Prepping is a journey. It's not a destination. You're never going to say, I'm done.
Yes.
It's constant rotation. It's constant things like that. But like Jason said, you got to just stop. Just take a break. Just hop off your prepping journey for a couple of days. Hop off for a week. You've been doing it for a while, so you definitely have preps. You have something to fall back on. You're not totally screwed if everything falls apart tomorrow. You have a nest egg to fall back on.
Right.
Take that break, man. It's important. Unplug from everything. Jason said, I'm with Jason. I love the woods. I love camping. I'll go on a hunting trip and just disappear and, check my phone to tell my wife I'm alive. I'm going to bed, and that's it.
Yeah.
And just reconnect with nature.
Absolutely.
Great advice. Awesome. Do you think there will be another shutdown?
No way.
A few months ago, a year ago, you would ask, I was like, yeah. Now I'm looking at everything. Nah. Not unless something comes out of left field, which I've been following. I think a lot of us, we're all following the couple of things that are going on as far as disease and pandemics go. But I don't see it. And if there is, people are not going to oblige this time.
Well, I'll throw something out there that I've been thinking about. If there was another shutdown, I don't think it's going to be health related, right?
It'll be climate related.
Yes, it'll be an energy shutdown.
Yeah, exactly.
We may not be able to. We won't have an opportunity to even get gasoline to go from point A to point B.
Right.
Well, I was thinking more along the lines of power grid than gasoline. Because if they unplug the power grid, there's no gasoline either. So
truth. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I mean, unless you like to listen to some of those YouTubers, like Jason likes to call them out about the grab your kids and hold them. We got 60 seconds left. You know, the fear mongers.
Oh,
Oh, you mean that Canadian fellow up north?
Him and what's the other one that does it all the time?
Full spectrum.
yeah.
You got the fucking weirdo eyes.
I cannot stand.
Sorry, man. Sorry, I didn't mean to go that.
I cannot stand it. I can't do it. I really can't. It's on, and it's always a picture of Putin. You know?
Well, you guys know why they do that, right? Though, because
It's like clickbait.
And people say, I'm going to tell you right now, people say they don't want to watch it. Well, then why are you watching it? Because I look at the videos and I go, that got thousands of views while my video got 200 views. So you tell me one thing, I follow your rules and your advice, and then you go ahead and watch that anyway. So, you know.
Well, listen, if you look at, here I go. I'm going to try to refrain from
here I go
motherfuckering the shit out of him. But the base of it is it's the money. The guy's getting, if you look at the views he's getting, you know, and you look at his what the fuck's that called? The clicks per view, whatever it is, the money he makes per every time someone clicks on his videos, it's astronomically high.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got to keep that income coming in.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna do that, then you should play the middle. And he used to play the middle. He was good at playing the middle. Now he's just like, you know, he's up Putin's ass, and he's like, Putin's gonna destroy America. And he sounds
Alex Jones 2.0.
Yeah, he sounds like a communist, you know, like, and I'm like, yo, first of all, fuckface, worry about what's going on in Canada. Worry about your shitbag president who's letting the Chinese and the Communist Party do what they want there, but he doesn't want to talk about that. He never talks about his own country. He only talks about fucking United States. Seriously, guy, that guy can go fucking kiss a dick. Sorry.
Tell me how you really feel, bro. Don't hold back.
It's just it's asinine. That's all.
I get it.
And you know what? Because you're playing on people's emotions, and then people are emailing you on the side, and they're like, "What can I do because of this, that, and the third?" And then like, I don't know what advice he's giving him. I can't speak on it. But he always talks about how people email him about how scared they are. Well, motherfucker, they're scared because you keep fucking doing it. You keep
rattling the cage a little more.
Yeah, you know, and people like, but you said in your last video that, you know, that the nuclear holocaust was right around the corner, and he's getting emails like that. So like, and I'm pretty sure he's ignoring like 90% of them, you know.
Yep.
But again, he's creating a situation for people who believe in him, and that's my issue with it. Because if people look at him as an entertainment value, you wouldn't hear me gripe about it. But the fact that he's actually emotionally affecting people and scaring people to the point where they're sick, where they're nervous, they're emailing him all the time, and they're emailing other people. The Canadian Prepper said, so now the fucking Canadian Prepper is like the god of prepping, because everybody's like, well, Canadian Prepper said so.
Yep,
I'm like,
he's the guru.
Right. And so now he's affecting people's health, and I don't think he realizes, or he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
He's making, look at all the money that he makes.
Yeah, that's it. It's dollar signs, man. It translates, you know, after everything, it's get your IO stat. We've got it in stock for now.
We got a gas mask over here, guys. Why don't you buy it from us? And we'll give you 15% off. You know, listen,
if you don't have this, you're gonna die. You're gonna die.
As far as I'm concerned, and people tell him all the time what I say. I can fucking care less. It's not like he's coming to the United States, you know.
Well, I'm sure he already knows what you say and what you think anyways. I mean, I think he follows some of the channels, so I mean, realistically,
I hope not. I mean, you know, I don't want anybody like that. That guy is anti-freedom. That's my bottom. I watched him talk about another guy, another YouTuber, and he's just anti-freedom. He doesn't like fucking freedom. So fuck him and his president.
I guess sell you out for a ham sandwich.
Oh, I guess I didn't know that aspect.
Wow.
Know what?
That he was anti-freedom. I guess I haven't really paid too much attention to. I mean, are you kind of shocked too?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no clue.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Just watch his last maybe 5 or 6 videos. And it's all about it. And even before that, even before this whole Ukraine thing started, there was something else that happened with a guy that he said he talks to. And he was just talking about, well, you know, when you're in certain countries, you just can't say what you want. You got to play by their rules. And I'm like, and it was just that as soon as he said that, I was like, this guy's fucking is a communist. And me and him spoke on the phone a couple times, and he would always tell me, yo, if you want to make more money, this is how I know he's all about money. You want to make more money, you should stop cursing. And I was like, fuck that. I'm going to keep going ahead with my cursing because it's called free speech. This is why we call it. This is why we live in this country. So I know for a fact that he's all about money. He is not about people's safety, and he is not about people's well-being. He's about money in his pocket, and that's it. Someone said his clickbait is annoying. It is. But so there's a little button, guys, for those of you that unsubscribe from him. I'm not saying unsubscribe from him, but if you unsubscribe from somebody, you go into their video, right in the home screen of YouTube, there's 3 dots. Click on the 3 dots, you right click on the 3 dots, and it gives you an option. I'm not interested in this channel, and the channel disappears from your stream forever.
Yeah.
So just a tip for those that are interested.
Jeez.
I see Survival Living is in here. It's good to see you. Bouger Prepper. Just wanted to say hi to a couple people that I know I missed earlier. Did anybody else have any other questions? I don't really see anything. And I think we have gone way over time. I've kept you guys here long enough. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to join me tonight. I feel like this was a really great conversation.
Yeah, it was.
And I enjoyed it. I hope all of you guys in the community enjoyed it as well. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you aren't subscribed to these wonderful channels, I know my mods have been dropping their links. Their links are also available in the description box. And then I wanted to go ahead and close with a scripture because this is just something that I do every time I end one of these. So it is, trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him and he will make straight your paths. Proverbs 3 verses 5 through 6. And I feel like, you know, we really need to not be leaning onto our own understanding right now with everything that's going on. Just trusting him, you know, you're going to be able to do what you can do, but we can't do everything. And we definitely need his help and his strength. So with that said, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening and happy Friday tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.